Hey runners, here's a really common question I get. How high should I pull my foot up during my run? So here's a great question, and let me tell you the answer. And it's a good answer. Well, hold on. Let me go this way. Okay, last time. Here we go. Okay. Hey runners, how high should you pull your foot up during your run? You only need to break contact with the ground any speed or distance. So by the way, when I first heard that, I was like, what? Because when you see someone running really fast, like you can see their foot's like way up here, their back foot, their front leg's way up here, arms are way swinging, right? And you're like, what do you mean? So this is really wild. Your body, your hamstring has what's called a natural reflexive response. And if you let go of the foot as soon as it's done with the pull, which is essentially as soon as it breaks contact with the ground, your hamstring finishes the pull, and the height is based on speed. So if you try to pull the foot to a certain height while you are running, you are over pulling. You are working more than you need. Now, just so you know, we all do that in the beginning. There's no way to not. So when you're standing in the running pose, and it's called the figure four, because if you look down, your thigh is pointing down, right? So that's the slope down of that four. And then here's my ankle making the other part of the four, ankle bone under the hip bone. And the way you check in yourself in place is you touch the inside of your foot to the inside of your standing leg. And then you lift your torso up. You create the position, the optimal position. It's called the running pose. The optimal position the body can hold to hold balance and travel forward. This is called falling. So in this moment, and it's like a tenth of a second on the ground, your body is going forward. Momentum, gravity, traveling forward. So what you're doing is you're practicing to be strong in that position, in that pose. So for a tenth of a second, your body reconnects in this line, falls forward, and you change support. You pull the other foot up. And look, I recovered the same exact running pose. This is so important because that's what we want to practice. We want to practice the ideal. The reality is what happens. And what does that mean? That means in reality, if I'm running, say, a 10-minute mile, 12-minute mile, it would make no sense for my hamstring to expend the energy it needs to pull my foot this high. It only needs to pull like to here. So if I was running by you at, say, a 10 to 12 minute pace, comfortably relaxed, I would look like this. There wouldn't be much height to my pull. My hamstring is so smart. It's a reflexive response, which means if I'm just out for a run or a jog or a stroll, whatever you want to think, and I'm just pulling enough to travel, then it makes sense for my hamstring to do less work. If I'm sprinting, so I'm holding a high angle, my body's really high, I'm really letting myself, I'm gonna hold on to this, travel forward or fall forward. Then when I travel, because I'm falling so much, I'm holding such a high angle, then my hamstring is going to respond by pulling as high as it can or needs to, right? So if I'm falling from this high of an angle, this would be my sprint, then watch when I release. I'm gonna release and watch. Up, up! You see how high my foot pulled? That's because I was falling at a high angle, holding my upper body line and letting it fall forward. So if I was going for a jog, that same line, still holding that same line, but I would be about here. So then watch, if I release, watch what happens. Up, up. You see where my pull foot is? It's here rather than here. My hamstring knows how much effort, how much height it needs. Does that make sense? It does. It knows. It already knows because it's a reflexive response. It's an innate thing. And this is the best part. We all have it. Your hamstring already knows how to do that. You're not training it. What you're training is your ability to hold your line and to reconnect your connection, your relationship with your hamstring. Because 99% of the runners I meet that come into RunRX are running with active muscle contraction. They're pushing, they're reaching, they're actively pulling. So to retrain that natural reflexive response is really for us to get out of the way, by the way. Like, you want to do less work, less effort, less muscular effort. So that's why you have to practice exaggerated, because you can feel like, this is where I want to be all the time. I want to pull here. I'm giving myself guidance, standard direction. So in place, you really do. You want to pull all the way to pose. But when you run, you only want to break contact with the ground. You have to do drills to practice this, to feel it. But first, it's concept. Like, I have to believe you, right? So I have a drill, it's called the pony drill. It's the first drill that ever came up for pose. So Romanoff, Dr. Romanoff, who's my coach, he took all these drills from running, from soccer, from track and field, from ballet. And there's a reality that if you understand, here's your foot on the ground, all you ever have to do is unweigh it using your torso. Watch. See, my foot is now weightless. It had my body weight on it. I took my torso and I lifted my torso up, and gravity took it forward. That's called falling. And you see, it's free. That's mimicking what happens in your run, that for just 1/10 of a second, you're on top of your support foot. And in that split second, you respond by pulling. You see how much higher my foot just pulled when I added the travel, right? I didn't do any more work. I still only did that. I just did that much effort. However, because there was traveling, all the stuff going on, then my foot pulled higher in response to my body weight traveling forward. So that height that you see is a response. It's a byproduct. So in place, you are pulling high in place. But when you run, you simply break contact with the ground. And the higher you hold your line, the higher the foot will pull in response. So if you run faster, your foot's going to pull more often and it's going to pull higher. If you're running out for a tempo run, you still got to do a minimum cadence of 180 to use that muscle elasticity. You want to use that elasticity. However, your foot is simply not going to pull as high because your hamstring will save its energy. So this is the best part of learning to run, is that efficiency. Your body is really naturally efficient if you allow that to happen. So I always tell people we work harder in the drills than we do in the run. And it's a combination of I have to think about it and then I have to feel it. So give it a shot. We've got the free 3, 2, 1 run on the app, which will take you through the practice. And then you're always welcome to join us and let me take you through the learning in our membership, runrx.fit. So hope this helps. Please leave a comment, ask questions. Happy to help. And thank you if you're subscribing. And if you're not, please share. Please do. And then share for everybody. So hope to see you in the membership. Thank you, guys.